Hi everyone, it's Fiona here from FionaMarks.com, and today I wanted to explore with you astrology and the news, or personalities in the news, because although I have lived here in Portugal for like 15 years or something, I still read the Australian press in the morning, and often I read an article about a celebrity and it makes me think about what's going on in their astrology, and I mean to do something with it, but I don't necessarily always get here to the video to do it. But this morning I read an article about Novak Djokovic. Let's share the screen. Hold on. Sharing exactly why he'll never be loved like Federer. And it's, just an article where he compares and contrasts how his current injury is being reported in the press compared to Federer a few years ago, and just noticing that they get treated differently. And I think when each of us think of those two tennis players, we do think of them a little bit differently. So let's see what's happening just at a quick level with their astrology. So here on the left is Novak Djokovic's chart, and on the right is Roger Federer. So let's just straight away talk about some things that might be contributing to that. I guess with Novak's chart, we can see that he is a Saturn ascendant. He is a Capricorn ascendant over here. And Saturn is the planet of lack in astrology. It's the cold, dry planet, and he's got his sun in Gemini with Mercury, which is Mercury's home sign. So we know he's very humorous and funny, like impressions that he does of other tennis players, and obviously has a very good sense of humor. But the seriousness of a Saturn ascendant cannot be dismissed from one's perception. So we probably all perceive something about that in him. And in general, we would say that the natural energetic response when humans perceive Saturn is that they want to move away from it, because we don't want to be close to Saturn because it's cold and it's dry and it's lack and it's death and it's all the things that humans find, quite uncomfortable and hard to deal with. So there's something on that level we could say is a Saturn ascendant. Whereas if we come over here for Roger Federer, we've got a Virgo ascendant, which is a Mercury ruled sign as well. But what we can see is that there is Venus, the benefic, here in Virgo. And even though Venus is not necessarily at its best in Virgo, it is obviously a benefic planet, something that people like to look at, something that people feel attracted to. It brings a softness to things. And we can also see that it's receiving no Rashi aspects, so only Venus influence on that ascendant, making him just a bit more palatable to, it makes someone more diplomatic, more politically savvy, and just smoother. The rough edges are smoothed out a little bit. So we could say that there's that contrast between each other. But maybe some other interesting things to draw on is, can you notice that they both have Mars debilitated in Cancer? So that's an interesting thing that they share in common. And then I wonder whether Novak Djokovic notices that Roger Federer has actually got an exalted Saturn. So we all have Saturn somewhere in our chart. And that in Libra, it's its happiest place in the sky. It's where it's going to perform the best. So here for Novak Djokovic, as a Saturn ascendant, seeing in someone else the exalted Saturn, he might pick up on that difference as well. But and maybe why that's a little bit significant too is that even if we bring it to the Gemini way of looking at astrology, we can see that the Atmakaraka for Novak Djokovic would be Saturn. So everything that's going on in the birth chart for Saturn in the 12th house, being in enemy dignity, is also being echoed in Gemini astrology, because it is the karaka for the self in this chart. So once again, being able to pick up someone else has got Saturn in the best place, because that's a strong energy in Novak Djokovic's chart. Whereas for Roger Federer, he has the moon as that indicator of the self. And in Roger Federer's chart, the moon is in Scorpio, which is the debilitation sign for the moon, but it's not in that first few degrees. So it's not debilitated, but obviously it's not the best place it could be. However, it is a waning moon. It's a waxing moon, so it's a benefic moon. So people may also feel that, and maybe that brings to the last point that I'll say about the article is that we could look at the moon in a way as how the public perceives us, the moon as the public. And in this chart, yes, we could say that it's not in its happiest place, but it is a benefic moon. So gentler, easier to look at, be attracted to, for the public to give their attention to, feels easy and comfortable. Whereas the moon here in Novak Djokovic's chart is in Aries with Rahu. And Rahu is always that, it's that illusion, it's that thing that distorts or makes it hard to see clearly. And perhaps the public, when they're trying to see Novak Djokovic, that Rahu comes into the mix and makes it a little harder to connect to that person. So those are some thoughts about the press that I happened to read this morning. I wonder whether you see it the same. Are you more a Djokovic fan or a Federer fan? And is this criticism justified? And is it there in his astrology? I'll let you be the judge. I hope you enjoyed that. I'm glad that I finally got to record something about the press that I read in the morning. All right. See you next time. Bye.